All right, so a couple months ago, I remember I was watching the Super Bowl, and this was the first year where I was like, oh, there's actually electric car commercials in the Super Bowl now. This is kind of a big moment for them, at least spending and getting awareness for them. And so I was kind of counting and looking at the ones that were notable, and I think one of the first ones I remember actually seeing was this. This is the Nissan Ariya, and now Nissan's got one here in front of us. This is a pre-production, but one of the first ones in the US straight up, and I've been very interested in actually checking it out. I'm trying to figure out which ones to compare it to. I think the two that came to mind are the Volkswagen ID4. Wow, it looks like a render right now. The Volkswagen ID4 and the Hyundai Ioniq 5. You know, it's a long wheelbase crossover. It's got a lot of storage. It's one of the first EVs from these companies. And spoiler alert, I personally would pick either of those two over this one, which isn't to say that there's nothing good about this. There's actually some really cool stuff I'm going to show you. But just in my first impressions and what I can see about them, now I see what Nissan's going for, and I'm going to show you what they mean. So first of all, the whole thing is in this like copper metallic color, the wheels and the body of the car itself, and this is the same color that the Super Bowl commercial one was in. I am not the biggest copper person, but they are very consistent with this sort of copper look throughout the entire interior, and apparently every Ariya has copper on the interior. So if I just go ahead and pop the door open and step inside here, you'll immediately see, look at that copper floor mat. You got this whole black interior in here, but you do have the copper accents around this spot where you can put your phone in here in this wireless charger. You've got copper in here for the air conditioning vents, copper stitching on the front, copper little door handles. So they're really into the copper for the Ariya, so you might as well, I guess, get the copper exterior too. So this whole layout, if I zoom back here, is a extended wheelbase version of maybe something like a Nissan Murano. Same thing the Ioniq did. They spaced the wheels out more to give you more interior space. And so they decided not to give you a front trunk, but they do give you tons of storage on the inside, a lot of leg room for this back seat. So I'm 6'3". That's the normal spot where I'm putting the driver's seat. And that's pretty good. It's reasonable for a road trip. But then this is the good stuff back here with the Ariya. There's a camera here, but also an automatic opening trunk. Pop it open, and a really, really good sized trunk. They've evened out this floor here, but there is a sub trunk for even more storage, and the back seats fold down. So it's a full-on hatchback. Even though this sort of slopes down a bit, there's a lot of storage. So in that sense, it's reminding me of ID4 and Ioniq 5. And also this gap up here where they're having the active arrow come through kind of reminds me of the Rivian. They've got two antennas, cool. But yeah, a lot of active air coming down here. And one more active arrow bit I'm gonna show you up at the front, which I really like, is the face. This is the face. It's big daytime running lights here. I'm gonna actually fire those up with the key so you can see them. There you go, huge daytime running lights. But also, this is real active aero. There's a little slot here, and that goes through the tire. So overall, got some aerodynamics happening. Overall, I don't know, how do you feel about this design? I am not the biggest copper person, so maybe I'm being swayed, but I feel like I can give this design in my head like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. It doesn't have to be flashy or amazing looking, but you know, it's got some decent features going on. It doesn't have much chrome. I'm going 7. But really the Ariya's interior is, I think, where it's going to separate itself. So let's pop in here and let me just show you what I mean. So this interior, it has some really cool stuff, and it actually is, I think, very well crafted, but it does have two things. One, it has some cool features, and two, it has some, we got to do this a little different because it's electric going on. The number one place you'll see that is right over here. Check out these capacitive buttons. There's some up here, and this is just for your climate control. And these have haptic feedback, so I can feel when I'm changing the temperature here. But I mean, when I'm driving, I want buttons to just be able to reach over and hit them, because this doesn't hit it. This doesn't hit it. This just barely gets there. Climate controls are all haptic buttons, and it looks cool, but I don't know if that's the way to go. I think they felt the need to do something sleek here. This is on the same level as what the Ioniq 5 did. And then over here, you have a couple other features in this really cool center storage section. So center storage is, number one, a place to put your phone, and number two, a place to like organize whatever you're carrying if you have a bag or something like that. And you'll notice there's a lot of space down here, and then you've got this center storage section. So number one, this actually is motorized and moves, which is pretty sweet. I kind of like that. Number two, this is the gear selector. It's in a fine spot. I can get used to that. Then you've got these capacitive buttons right here, which are going to be to open and close this, like here, just watch this area. I'm gonna hit the open button. And you've got this little tray that pops out. And then the tray has some storage underneath it, but that's just a tray. I don't know, you're not gonna put your phone there. It doesn't charge there. It'll definitely slide around, but maybe you're parked and you wanna put something down. That's a tray. And then you have to hold this to close it. If you let go, it pauses. So you have to keep holding it to get it all the way shut. Okay, fine. But then you can switch your drive modes. There are currently 3. When I hit the button, I go from standard to sport. I'm gonna keep it in, yeah, let's go standard. But then the last thing over here is e-step and auto park. And you can see this little wireless charging indicator here because your phone pops in here. And I'll just grab my phone real quick and pop it in there. And it is a wireless charger. And it does have wireless Apple CarPlay. Not sure about Android Auto, but that's cool if you pop your iPhone in there and just put it away. Just don't use your phone screen while driving. Wirelessly broadcast to the screen. And then you have a little bit of storage in here. That's some cup holders. Okay, that I think is solid. Then there's this whole cavernous space down here. So Nissan told me they didn't want to do a front trunk. Oh, hi HUD, great screen there. They didn't want to do a front trunk, so they put all of the air conditioning and that other electronics and stuff that would normally be in the center console up in the front of the car. So now you just have this glowing lantern light box, which looks cool at night, and then this open space. It kind of reminds me of older Teslas where, like, if you put a bag there, if you put anything there and then start driving, it just starts sloshing around in the whole front of the car. So you do have storage here. And this is probably the best part. This is another spot to charge a device, USB-C or USB-A, and then this is literally a cable wrap. It's a cable wrap. So you put your phone in there, you cap cable wrap here, and then you plug it in so there's not a whole bunch going on. That's really well thought out. I just wish there was some more organization or division in here. I think that's been added back to some cars that originally had all this open space. Also, there are 3 cherry blossoms in the interior of this car. One of them is right here. The second one, thanks to Nissan, is right there. And the third one, if I just open this up again, as you can see, right there. Little Easter eggs, in case you didn't know. So I've driven this car for a couple days. 2 days I've had this. It drives very similar to the ID4, which is, it's not the most exciting drive. It's got enough pep to be a totally normal, reasonable car. Not anything extra. The ID4 was the same. You floor it, the 0 to 60 is maybe 7 seconds or something like that, but at least you have merging speed power. But here's the reason that I would pick Ioniq 5 over this. Hyundai's Ioniq 5 has the edge in range, has the edge in looks, in my opinion, has the edge in storage space and internal organization, but most importantly has the edge in charging speed. The Ariya maxes out at 130 kilowatt fast charging, which it is faster than you would charge at home, but if I was to do a road trip, this is not a car I would take with 130 kilowatts max fast charging and less than 300 max miles of range. But yeah, I am glad to see like Nissan's spin on this interior. There's not a whole lot of Nissan cars I've been in, but it is well built. Let's see what the window situation is. You can see dual pane glass, if I can get it in focus, but that's gonna help you with the cabin isolation and sounding good. So it's a 12-inch screen here in the middle in the front of the steering wheel, right underneath an HUD. The HUD is really high quality actually, so that's good to see. But then to the right, you have another 12-inch screen, which also has some capacitive buttons flanking it, and you can actually touch them, touchscreen buttons, but also capacitive button to pop into your camera or switch between daytime and nighttime mode. Cameras are pretty good. This UI looks terrible to me. I mean, I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it. It looks awful. This is the part where I typically talk about how most cars are gonna have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and this is one of those cars. But again, when you want to navigate to a charger, you have to rely on the car's built-in maps. So I open the map, and it is fairly responsive, but I just don't want to look at this. And also, if I just wanted to plug in or pop into a nearby location, This whole UI is not the most intuitive thing in the world. If I want to navigate home or navigate somewhere, pick a new destination, there's not a whole lot of...
The route calculation is complete. Proceed to the nearest road.
I'm not a fan of this. So that's why I'm happy that there's wireless CarPlay. But if there's Android Auto too, sounds pretty good. Also, fun fact, you can see once this is closed, this lights up to let you know that there is a phone in there wireless charging. If you pop it out, then it doesn't light up anymore. Overall, as an electric car, I'm gonna give the Ariya a sort of a middling score because I feel like it is, just because it's 50 grand, it is middling around like the Ioniq 5 and ID4. And this is not Nissan's first rodeo. They've had an electric car. They've had the Leaf out for a long time. They've had chances to work on EV stuff. And so I do expect to see more from Nissan. But yeah, it's an interesting little pseudo luxury happening with this car here. And I'm curious how it's received by Nissan fans, by people considering others, like cross-shopping like Model Y around the same price with this. I know what I would pick, but I'm curious what your comments are. Either way, that's my first look at Nissan Ariya. There's a lot more stuff coming. Like you probably expected when I said I had a lot of thoughts on cars. I meant it. Also, I've seen a lot of cool comments about people I should collaborate with on this channel. Like, obviously there's the Doug DeMuros and Sandy Munros of the world. We should definitely make that happen. But even more so, plenty of others. The Kilowatts have reached out. We'll figure something out. Either way, okay, that's been the Ariya. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. Peace.